My story started with a phone call from my dad back in late August last summer. I got a text from my dad's cell phone saying that Larry has gotten stung by a wasp. I think he's having an allergic reaction. I need you to call 911. So not knowing where they were or what was happening, I phoned my dad's phone. A lady answered that I had never met before. And she said, "Ryan, your dad got stung by a wasp. He fell down, hit his head really hard on the boat motor. I need help. I don't know how to tell emergency services where you guys live."
Well, it was Friday afternoon. Lady friend came over, wanted to go fishing. So we had the boat lined up, and I'd had lots of wasps this past year, and I'd never been allergic to them before because I'd got bitten through my career quite a few times. All of a sudden I felt a wild sting behind my ear, and the neighbor lady was there with her little girls at the time, and they said, "You got a wasp on your neck." And I flacked him, and he bit me, and all of a sudden I realized I'm gonna faint, and I went head first into the boat motor. That's the last part I remember of that point.
I got there right away. He was laying on the ground. He was unconscious, foaming at the mouth. Emergency services on the 911 operator told us to start CPR after we had told her the frequency of his chest rising. She said that wasn't fast enough. So I started CPR. I felt his ribs break on the second or third chest compression, which was a horrible feeling. I kept going. I did my 30 chest compressions. I started my 2 breaths. I could tell that the first 2 breaths didn't go in, so I repositioned his head, as they teach you in first aid training. The paramedics arrived. They took over from there. It was tough to watch. At that moment, I had to step away, and they told us Dad had no pulse for 29 minutes. That's when I called my brother and said, I think he's gone.
Yeah, it was a tough to be on the other side of the phone call. My brother had a tough job in front of him doing CPR with my dad. My dad was STARS ambulance to Calgary. Morbidly so, I was packed for a funeral. I literally thought he was gone by the way my brother had described the situation.
I think it was about 3 days I was told I'd been in an induced coma in the foothills in Calgary. And I came to and couldn't remember what had happened. All these machines were hooked to my body to keep me going.
Ultimately, in the end, he was taken down to the cardiac wing, and we walked out of the hospital 12 days later. So it was an incredible story relating to safety, because it's amazing the skills. I can't imagine what my brother had to go through to do that in person. It's just a great opportunity with ATCO to have that training. And in the training, you learn about AEDs and how important that is. And I'm just appreciative that ATCO is so committed to safety.
And one of the biggest coincidences is that I received an email that all our ATCO trucks were going to receive AEDs on the same day that my dad had his incident.
It was a very crucial part in his part of his life, and my part especially, that I'm still alive. Ryan did his job, and I know he suffered for quite a few weeks thinking about that, thinking if he hadn't known how to do that, Dad wouldn't be here. Dad would be dead. You take that course year in, year out. It's 2 or 3 day course, and you're just saying, oh God, I got to take safety. And I probably never took it very seriously either. But by God, when you got to do it, I wasn't breathing, I was going down. And so it's important. He had to do it, and it's a pretty scary thing. You're trying to keep someone alive.
You know, when I refresh my first aid training in the fall, I'm with different people across industry and oil field, and you can just tell that people aren't taking it serious, like some people, right? Some people are, but when you need it, right? So the message is, be thankful that we have a company that's committed to this, and you take the training seriously and try to put it to memory, for sure.
I would just like people to take their first aid training seriously. Like, you never know. Like, you could be driving down the highway and somebody could be in trouble. So I think it's our responsibility to stop and help and do what we can. So. And if it saves one life with all these AEDs we've bought, then it's so worth it.
I'm thankful again, because when you need it, it's there. So, you know, the pain for me to walk up a couple of floors and sign out an AED in retrospect is nothing compared to the pain of not having it when you need it, right? So I'm glad that they've made this commitment as far as they have.